I want to talk about Elden Ring. Some interesting stuff going on with this game right now. First, let's start here. It's the fastest selling Souls game. And another interesting little bit of news here is the majority of the sales went to PlayStation platforms. Now, this is purely off of UK sales, but I think it's fair to say that this is probably universal. The problem is just the only charts that are left are UK charts. Nobody else really releases any tracking numbers, so we have to go off of these. And according to those charts, 63% of boxed sales, because they don't have digital numbers, they're going off of the boxed sales, so physical releases of the game. 63% of those were on PS5 with, what was the PS7? So 63% of box sales on PS5 with 17% of box sales on PS4. That's a pretty big number for PlayStation platforms. The Xbox platform had a combined 17%, and then only 3% on PC, which I found pretty interesting. I'm on Steam. That's where I bought it. So I've been playing it on PC. Note, PC and Xbox are heavily digital platforms. This is purely for box sales. But I think you could probably say most of the sales are on the PlayStation platform. The PC number, I really do wonder what the actual number is for people on PC. But I think it's safe to say most people are playing this on PlayStation. Now, the reason that I want to bring that up is because what's going on here with the scores of the game over on Metacritic. Now, I just want to put this out there. I'm not having any problems with the game. I'm playing it on my PC. I have a 3080 GTX and a Ryzen 9. So, I mean, it's not the most powerful PC, but it's not a slow one. So I can play the game on max settings, and when I do that, I had like 2 times where there was like a dip in the game, and that was it. For the most part, my gameplay experience has been pretty positive, but it does seem that a lot of other people are having some problems. Now, I went through these, and I want to show you. On PC, as you can see, critics gave it a 95 average. User score is at 5.7. On PlayStation 4, user score is 6.2. On PlayStation 5, 7.6. On Xbox One, 5.5, the lowest, I believe. And on Xbox Series S and X, even though this just says Series X, I'm going to throw S in there as well, 6.5. Now, the reason that I'm talking about this is because, as you can see, it's very far from the critics. Critics are giving this game great scores all around. So, you know, what's going on here? Now, I always like to side with the user scores because I think it's more accurate for what it is, because most of the time critics are paid shills. So I'm kind of wondering, do we have a Cyberpunk 2077 kind of thing going on here? Because if you remember Cyberpunk, that game, when it came out, was utterly a clusterfuck. It was a mess. And critics, you remember, gave it a 10, 10, 10. It's the amazing, bestest, greatest, masterful masterpiece ever made. And then, you know, regular people got the game, and it was completely broken. So I'm wondering, like, is this going on here? Like, are we getting that again? So I've looked through a lot of these reviews. We'll just go to PlayStation 5 for now. 552 negative reviews. Now, that's really low compared to the other ones, and I'm going to go through them. And I went through some of these. And I want to see, like, is this game being review bombed too? And that's a possibility. There's definitely a lot of people in here that are giving it bad reviews because it's a hard game, which shouldn't be surprising. A lot of salt surrounding the difficulty of Souls games with people. That's every single one of these games that comes out from software gets bad reviews because of the difficulty. So we can read through a couple of them, and I'll just pick them at random. I did spend some time reading through a lot of these just to see like what's going on here. And a lot of people are having performance issues, especially on consoles and PC. PC, I guess, it has not been optimized for. So let's read a lot of these. This game is not as great as I was hoping. There's a lot of recycling from old games, and the open world is no more exciting than any other open world with too much dead space. There is no cool way to get around. It's just another game with a horse. Graphics are dated, and frame rate is subpar for a game with equivalent graphics. No innovation here. Just another Dark Souls. Wait for sale. Here's another one. This game is a pile of garbage. The greedy developers copied and pasted the same animations from Dark Souls 3. The developers were too cheap and lazy to make new animations. The animations and graphics are very outdated for a next-gen AAA $60 game. The AI is incredibly stupid. The developers were too greedy and lazy to make sophisticated AI. So they gave enemies too much health in a pathetic attempt to make the game difficult. This formula is getting so old. From software games aren't even that hard. All it takes to beat their games is to learn the enemy patterns, dance around, and have patience when attacking. There are clipping issues. I saw a monster's entire head magically go through a solid wall. I'm not going to read the rest. It's a very long review. Don't fall for Metacritic's score. A lot of reviewers gave it 10s, but failed to write in their fake reviews how buggy and broken Elden Ring is. Seeing a lot of PC console games complaining about crashes, corrupt saves, frame rate issues, etc. Would you give it a 10 with those issues? This is actually a fair point, and this is why I'm saying, like, is this another Cyberpunk situation? Now, to be fair, I love the game, but I'm also biased in the fact that I love these Souls types games. I like the challenge. I like that they're difficult. I like that, it takes time to go through them. I like grinding in them. I like to make my guys stronger. It's fun when these come out for me. But I understand they're not for everybody. But I think that this guy here makes a fair point about these scores. Okay, corrupt saves, crashes, frame rate issues. And he's right. Does a game deserve a 10 if it has all these? And I read and watched a lot of video reviews and article reviews on Elden Ring, and I don't remember any of them talking about the issues in the game. Isn't that something that people deserve to know? That if there's a big profile game, and Elden Ring is a big profile game, don't people deserve to know that there's issues in it? This is their job to tell people that. So once again, you have them shilling and covering up for a company. And I'm not trying to shit on From Software. I love them. I love their games. But if they released a broken product, people do deserve to know. Like I said before, the game is ran fine for me. But, I'm just one person. And my PC is a little bit, more higher end with some of the stuff. So it's tough to say. But it does seem like a lot of people are having problems, so I guess it's not that tough to say. I don't think this is just a couple of people. It seems like a lot, especially on PC. 5.7. I mean, look at that. 395 negative reviews, and it's not just people saying that it's hard. You have massive stuttering issues and no ultra-wide support. These are deal breakers for me. There's absolutely no excuse for a game releasing in 2022 to be totally gimped like what From has done with Elden Ring on PC. The PC port is truly atrocious. No ultra-wide support. In fact, it appears it was intentionally removed with multiple people saying it works, then soon after is replaced by black bars. FOV is messed up. No porting over of PlayStation button icons, poor performance, FPS is capped at 60. This was pure and simple lazy developing with the aim of making as much money as possible while screwing over people who paid $60 expecting a competent product. Inexcusable. Longtime Souls fan, I do enjoy the game itself, but as is, I cannot recommend purchasing. The game is known to have half-baked-in performance problems core to the engine itself. Significant improvements are unlikely. I don't know about that. These affect consoles as well as PC, though PC seems to be seeing the most varied result, ranging from minor FPS drops to 10-plus second stallouts regarding of settings or hardware. See for yourself, and there's a YouTube link there. Freeze, lag, known issues, bad ports still released, nothing ever changes, huh? Yeah, this is a problem with PC gaming in general. There's usually... It seems like PC is considered second rate to developers anymore. Let's take a look at the PlayStation 4, 6.2, 97. Bad reviews here. Software and games industry should hire more testers and QA engineers to avoid buggy and terrible performance launches like this. Shameless steal from Bandai. Like it's every platform. And when I first saw this, I was kind of shocked because I thought this game was going to have big praise from people. And I mean, look, it's almost, if not pretty damn close, usually to the positives. It's surprising. Multiplayer not working. Loading times are horrendous. Graphics is not especially good. The game stutters all the time. Are we even playing the same game as those 10 so-called professional gaming journalists? As you can see, this is the Xbox Series X. Just for shits and giggles, let's go to the Xbox One, the lowest selling platform, I would imagine, for it. Even on here, look at this, 64. Windows 10 only, when Dark Souls 3 worked perfectly on Windows 7. I don't know why this is on the Xbox. Why is this on the Xbox One? Anyway, you get what's going on here. Something strange. I didn't know the game was so broken, but I cannot say that people are having problems, and it's really concerning. From Software, I've always considered to be a really good developer, and it's a shame that they released a game like this if this is the case. And game journalists, once again, caught kind of, covering ass for game developers. Like, why aren't any of their reviews talking about this? It's concerning. Though, I mean, anybody that's been around this channel knows that they know my opinion on game journalists are all lazy hacks and shills. So it's not surprising that they would just cover it up and not say anything and release the game to the public with masterpiece scores, by the way, trying to get as many people to buy it. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on all of this? I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Also, if you would, please subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Share the video. Throw a like up. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.